Before we get started, please take the time to like, add, and subscribe to our pages on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and iTunes. Also, please leave us a review. We can wander our way over, because this is Wandering Ways.
What's Bigfoot possibility?
And speaking of bears, we are going to show you Jerrod's top 5 Yellowstone. And for your top 5 Yellowstone, you chose to share with us 5 images that you've taken in Yellowstone Park of 5 encounters you've had while in the park. Some really cool ones. You really had only one number one, you said, so we'll save that one for last. But you kind of had these other 4, and we're going to walk through them here. And I'm really excited here. Let's talk about these. We got 2 coyotes eating a bison.
Yeah, the photos don't look as good as they do on actual raw photos, people. Okay, so don't judge the quality of them. All right. 2, for segue into the bears, why'd you choose this one? You should have chose the fucking bear.
Brown bear. It's easier to use the arrows just to go up.
Oh,
when we walk through, and I staggered them this way. I don't know. I get it. We'll see the bear next. Don't worry, we got some time. we can talk about your number 5 encounter here. And I was actually here with you on this day.
Oh yeah. This was the 6 coyote day. Saw 6 of those some beesies. This was in the morning. This was at about like 7:30, maybe. I think.
Yeah, it was kind of early, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to check the timestamp on it, but it was pretty early. Because 10 o'clock is just after we saw that baby bison. Because I was checking on this the other day. But yeah, this was really cool because I just like seeing these coyotes. It was kind of dope because at first, can you see me? Because I can't see myself on the screen.
I got you.
Okay. That first coyote was like down at the bison, and I'm guessing that it's inverted. So if I'm talking to you, the other coyote was up on the hill, and they were just kind of like chilling, and that one just kind of slowly crept down a little bit closer, creep down, sit, wait, and finally came and ate with it, and then they like just shared this meal. When they're both like in the thought of like when you're thinking of nature, there's not a lot of camaraderie, especially with like solo animals, because
right,
like you're competing for the same resources, you're competing to help your DNA be spread and like have your lineage go on. And so it wasn't just typical to see of just like, oh, and I mean, like, I don't know a ton on coyotes. Maybe they do this all the time, but I just thought it was kind of cool of like seeing these 2 like lone animals, and
right,
just kind of like hang out and eat, and then after they ate, they both went their separate ways.
Yeah, I wonder, you're saying, I wonder, like, have they, are they brother, sister, sister? Are they like mother, son, father, daughter,
Yeah, exactly.
some weird relationship too,
And like, I always see coyotes on their own, but like at night you hear them there in packs. And so
That's
like,
true.
you know what I mean? So it's like, but I just don't usually see like coyotes in packs,
I've only
seen, I
seen
thought this was pretty cool.
couple coyotes together. This was one of those times. And there was one, like I was driving on my way to Great Falls one time and I saw 2 of them just sitting there on the side of the road. Like they were like, and I was like, well, this was February. I think it was when I went to go get that COVID vaccine the first time. And
Gotcha.
I was like, oh, is this like breeding season? Like, are you like, you don't, like what you're saying, you don't see them. Like they're solo. Down in Albuquerque, I remember down in Fort Hills, they would pack up, when we drive up on them in the cars. But that's New Mexico. That's a different, when you talk about different type of coyote, but like you said, every time hunting, every time just out here in Montana, you see them just one solo one.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why they I don't know. It was weird because even just the hesitancy of this, of this
Yeah.
one and the way it walked up and eat on this place. Maybe it's Yellowstone. They have so many resources
Yeah, maybe.
that they don't need to compete. Maybe that's something that because we fucking shot all the coyotes and wolves coming out west. Think about it. I mean, we talk about the bison because of what the bison was, but you're talking hundreds of millions decimated, dropped
Yeah.
down to 2,000. Like the numbers were so low. What are you doing to the other animals?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, when scarcity happens, you get a lot of like the competition like goes up, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
For
wild.
sure.
It's wild.
I
No,
know.
this
So
is
that's why like yeah, it was just super cool to see that morning, you know?
well.
And
Is
I
that a
remember you
May?
driving, we were in the Rougarou, and I just like boom, pop open a door, throw in a hay trip step
Oh
thing, step
yeah,
on that and lean on the roof and just you know what I mean?
yeah. No, you were. You're standing right up there taking nice shots of the coyotes. Is that a magpie sitting right there too?
Yeah, right there in the
Yeah,
sagebrush in the foreground.
two
Yeah.
of them.
Hmm. Oh yeah, I didn't see
Wow.
that second guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they and look at that camouflage.
Use your mouse and circle them for the viewer.
Hopefully they can
Oh,
see
there
that.
you
You
go.
got that one
Oh
right
yeah.
there, and then you got
Yep.
this one right here.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that nice visual aid.
Yeah, no, beautiful photo. I'm having a good time staring at this one. I'm gonna move on to your number 4, I guess we'll call this. That was number 5. Number
Yeah.
4. This guy.
Number
I don't remember this. So
4.
this must have been when you went different time.
Yeah, with my my sister, my mom, and my dad.
Nice.
We the Beartooth Pass, came over the and we saw like a bunch of bison stampeding in the rain, which was really cool. Like across the road, just it would have been so awesome to see that like in the 1800s, dude. Just big fucking swath of them. But
Yeah.
anyway, it was kind of rainy that day. This was the first trip with my long lens, my
Okay,
because
yeah.
I just bought it. And I remember it kind of started raining and I was kind of worried about the lens. It just doesn't like
No, it's
it's not
fine.
clear on Zoom.
It's all
But
right.
like, yeah, it's clearer, I guess, and if I were to get like a print of it, would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But kind of started raining. I was a little bit worried. And so my mom took a plastic bag. She was like, here, and like made a sleeve for it, which was I was like,
nice,
oh right. But we went over to the petrified tree and we
Oh,
saw
yeah.
2 black bear there. This was a 6 bear day. So I had a 6 coyote day and a 6 bear day, but this one was preceding the coyotes.
This is a black bear, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like cinnamon color
Yeah.
phase. But 2 black bear down by petrified tree. We were all stopped. One was at the bottom of the valley, just kind of eating. We saw this other one come over this hill and like start checking it out. And then they got the scent. And so they started heading down. The other one saw it and just booked it and actually ran towards us, towards a bunch of us. We're all like, oh shit, and all ran to the cars. But then it saw us turn and ran along the riverbed and then up and over the hill. And they chased like that one chased it. Yeah, which was pretty cool.
That's cool.
And then right after petrified tree, you know how you kind of like drive down and then kind of around like that little creek, you know?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Off to the northwest, it's all like where that fire went. So it's a big, you know, this is at the bottom of that. So this is really close to petrified tree. And she was actually there with a cub, but I got her looking at me like this, which was really cool. I really liked how this photo, like,
I love it.
Kind of like frame her in a little bit, which is kind of cool. I
the
really
green
like
grass, the nice, the grass in her
matches the
mouth.
ear tag.
Yeah, even the green ear tag. That's how I was zooming in. I was like, "What is that?" And then I was like, "Oh, that's a tag." But they do in Yellowstone. They tag those animals, and that's how you can tell right there the round ears and then the nose shoulder hump.
Shoulders at all. Yeah.
But that color,
Yep.
I mean,
So
that's a brown bear.
Huh?
Or black bear, not brown bear. Sorry, brown
Yeah,
black
like a
bear.
brown black bear. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, cinnamon black bear is always what I call him.
there's the black right
Yeah,
there.
and her cub was actually like cinnamon colored too.
Well, when you
Um,
say cinnamon too, because like you could say cinnamon grizzly, and I think of like the blonde grizzlies, right?
oh right, yeah,
Like
yep.
they're not blonde because then you have the blonde grizzly, which are like the white ones.
Yeah.
But then you have like the cinnamon
And we got
ones that are like that
paisley.
frosty. Yeah, they got all fucking sorts of kind of. I mean, bears are cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and so like saw her and her cub, and then we drove up the road up to that like hell roaring plateau or something like that. Not
Oh
maybe
yeah,
not the
yeah, yeah,
plateau,
yeah.
it might be the hell roaring like hike, or because there's a bunch of
Yeah,
like
yeah. It's one of
similar
those
name
right
hikes
there
right
by the
there. Yeah.
petrified trees that you're saying.
Yeah, kind of up the road a couple
Yeah.
miles. There's actually like kind of a pull out and then like a start of a trailhead that a lot
Yeah.
of people hike. And that road is usually closed. I don't
It
know why.
looks north. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And there was another black bear with her cub, but they were like true black, and I just couldn't get too good of pictures. But I really liked this one, and like I said, it
No,
looks really good on the old camera.
I like it. You even have the other tree coming in on the left side there. That's even like
Mhm.
framing the bear. Like
Yeah,
nice, you
exactly.
know.
Yeah, like look
Yeah.
at this. Yeah.
It is. It's pointing right to where you need to look. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. And then just the way the bushes in the bottom right corner are sitting too looks good. Um, I think we'll get into your number three. This will be your number three. This one right here. The bison, the bison, walking down the roadway. These were three female, I think.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Three cows, and we. This is up where you can see those falls, like right as you kind of come in.
Udine or something, right?
Yep. Yep. Udine Falls. Exactly. Good memory. Um. Yeah. This day was pretty cool because this is when we were sitting there and just listening to the bison that were super close to the car earlier on in the day. And then down by Petrified Tree is where we pulled into that one parking spot. And then there was that bison that kind of like jumped
Creek,
that
yeah.
little ditch. Kind of seeing like how much do they weigh?
Oh, fucking 1,000 pounds, 2,000 pounds. If it's a big male, like that one was probably 1,000
Yeah, like
pounds.
seeing like a
Easy.
2,000 pound animal to try to jump a little tiny ditch gracefully.
Yeah.
It happened. So yeah, they jump and all their hair jostles, and it's just
Yeah.
like that took a lot of effort. You know what I mean?
No, it did. And they do. And like people they underestimate these creatures. Like
Mhm.
essentially bison, they're one of those like from the ice ages, like there was mega bison. These are kind of what have come out of that, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
I like too the
And
feet on the one in the middle, how the feet just
oh
line
yeah,
perfectly up with the line.
yeah, exactly. Like we pulled over. This was before I had my long lens, and so this was before either of us had our long lenses,
Yeah.
and before I even had a camera. And I was like, "Dude, can I take a picture with your camera really quick?" And you were like, "Yeah, of course." And so I hopped out and got in the middle of the road because I mean, like wintertime is such a great time to visit Yellowstone because there's hardly anyone there. But
Exactly.
you're limited to the northern road,
Right.
and that's it. But I mean, still, if you're near there in the wintertime, definitely go. But yeah, so I hopped out. You don't have to worry about traffic. All of a sudden, they start cresting the hill, and yeah, they were all just kind of like walking, and then all of a sudden they got into line, just slowly, and boom, right there, right place, right time. Get to see him staggered, like
Yeah.
one on this side, one in the middle, one on this side, and yeah, that like hoof right there just shows like that little bit of movement. Like I really liked this photo too. It was just like it was really lucky to be able to see that,
Well, and look how big they are in that sense
Yeah,
too. Like just the
yeah. And we
like
just like
it
hung out and
captures.
just watched them, and I
Yeah.
really like that about the winter ones is like you go there and you're gonna spend the day in there, and so you might not see a ton of like predators.
Right.
So you take the time that you have and just like you're able to just slow down, and that's the best part. Like in the summer, you can't stop and just listen to that bison chew its cud and like them all kind of grunting to each other, but you can in the winter, and that's just the best part about Yellowstone in winter is just like the serenity of everything, and you get to appreciate like these small moments. And like you always say, they look best in their winter coats, because other than when they're in their summer coats, they're all raggedy and like look like they're diseased. But
right, fucking
I
trying to
really,
shed.
yeah, exactly.
No, the
So
winter coats do like that to me. You get that February bison. Oh, that's a pretty color sometimes because you get that white right on top.
yep.
And I like that. But again, like that's what you're saying, going in the winter, you live basically in the park. So you're able to see this real easy, which is awesome. Um, and it is, you gotta go. You like all these moments, this didn't happen in one trip. Some of
Right,
them happen in
exactly.
the same trip, but sometimes they, it is like you got to keep going. You got to have those moments. You're not going to see a bear every time. So when you are seeing these bison, you got to take it in. And you don't get we did though with YOLO, and then we did get a nice moment with the bison where we pulled the cars over in the summer, but it was like
Uh-huh.
we were in the Lamar Valley. This is back in the day, a couple of years ago. You weren't here with YOLO and
Right.
them when they came
Yeah.
over, and we pulled over the car in the Lamar Valley, but it was like summer, July 4th, 5th, that weekend around there. So it was probably 9:30 at night. So it was like sunset,
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's what it takes. You got to be out there
Yeah,
late.
exactly.
Yeah, you gotta put in the time and effort for those moments. And I think in the winter you get more of that. And I don't know, how many times did you go to Yellowstone this summer?
This summer actually wasn't a lot, but I mean, like a handful, which is still like a lot for everyone else, but it's not like,
More, I think we go more in the
yeah.
winter.
I honestly do think so as well, because I mean, the summer's great to
Yeah.
go, especially I honestly really like the late spring the
Yeah.
best.
Oh
This
yeah.
time right
The
now is also
babies.
really good to actually see, like, I mean, heck, I just saw a post about
The
the
fall.
people saw like bison, young bison got attacked by wolves, and
Right.
then it suffered like a mortal wound, and
Oh,
then the rest of the bison came over and surrounded it and like protect it from the wolves, and they took off, but that bison was gonna die. And so once those other bison like realize, hey, that's dead, and walks off, then you're gonna get a nice like sea of feeding, which is really
right.
cool. But um yeah, so like this time is, there's really not a bad time to go, honestly. There just is, unless you want to like see geological features, then you can't
Yeah.
really go in the winter. But if you're there to see like wildlife, there really is not a bad time,
That's what I'm
you know.
saying. That's why I keep saying we need to do the snowmobile tour out of West Yellowstone, because you
Might see
plan it
some
right. You can see some. I
might see
think you can
some
see some.
otters.
Yeah, I think you can see some cool shit on that. You because you take, think about it. You take west. There's two routes you could take. You take West Yellowstone to that cutoff, so you're following that river the whole time, which you'll
Mm-hmm.
see, like you're saying, you'll possibly see otters, you'll possibly see elk, the herd animals. You take you could go to Old Faithful, which I think would be cool. Which I've seen good wildlife down there, and then you could take all the way to Canyon, and the river's up there. I'm sure. I
Yeah.
mean, I want to go snowmobiling. They're bad. It's been on my list for a while.
Yeah, dude. Heck yeah.
So now Mark's favorite part, this that guy's missing out on. We're going to get into cool shit in nature. And for our first video here, for the viewers, for the listeners, it's an elk ramming a car on the side of the road in Jasper National Park, so up in Canada there. Yeah.
Walking it up, dude.
Look at
Wonder if he
it.
punctured that like the metal at all, because like that's really thin, and just like that bone,
Yeah.
just hear that, or dented the shit out of it. Like,
Oh, you're at least, I mean, it looks like for sure he pulls his head back, so he gets it caught up in there. The
yeah.
fender's fucked up for sure.
Oh yeah.
Maybe the mirror,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
door probably. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it is a possibility that he slashed the rubber too.
Yeah.
Because people don't realize when you look at elk horns, and this is more for the viewers because I know you know this, but the white tips when you
It's
get the
not
white,
okay. They're antlers, not horns. Jeez Louise.
okay, the antlers and the white tips, that's from them sharpening those tips.
Yeah.
Sitting there saying, "Oh, I'm gonna stab you, motherfucker."
Yeah. Yeah. Because when they're in velvet, those tips are like
Round.
just perfectly like domed. Yeah. Round.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they sit there and they like, rub them and shit like that and get them sharpened up for
Right.
like, metal, dude. That's dope.
Ah!
Gosh.
Just rips that up. Okay, this
I
next
bet you
one.
someone in that car was like, ah! You're
I
like,
bet you. I like that.
Wait.
This good video from this guy.
yeah.
This is I like how the car. We're like, oh, let's get out of here. And then okay. The next one is a photo here, and this one also comes from
Oh,
tour on the Yellowstone. And
yeah.
this one's more just talk. What's your opinion here? There's a lady walking on it, appears to be Old Faithful.
Yeah, dude, ban them for life. They're gone. You can't follow simple instructions. Like, seriously, stay on the fucking boardwalk. And like, dude, the signs are everywhere. They have pictures, so you can't be like, well, I didn't read it. Like, they have pictures of like, stay on the boardwalk. And that's it. Keep away from the animals and stay on the fucking boardwalks. Like, enjoy from a safe distance. That's all. That's what the whole park is about. That's like the one rule is to stay, like, view at a safe distance. And if you can't do that, then like you don't ever get to go back. I don't care.
It's like a zoo, right? It's like, hey, we're not going to put the walls up.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
for you, not
Let
the
your kid
animals.
go in there, and then Harambe got shot, man. My boy, Harambe.
R.I.P.
Oh,
No, but like but like think about this. Like if every single person that visited Old Faithful, and you're talking millions of people because that's what they
Oh,
get
yeah.
per year.
Yeah.
Did this, what would this place look like?
Trash, bro.
It
Fucking
would
trash.
look like an anthill.
Yeah.
Just pebbles.
I just,
like a beach.
gosh, man, they're like, you're not the fucking main character. You don't get to just walk up there, you know?
Zach of Wandering Ways is though.
And like, just the like entitlement though, of like, oh, I'm gonna go look. Like, no one else is doing this. I'm just gonna go fucking do it. Like, what? I just don't get it. It just baffles me that you just don't.
Or like the ones that go just walk on like Grand Prismatic.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing. Like, what are you doing? You know? Gosh dang. Piss me off.
The bison does it. Are you saying I'm no better than the bison? He's better than me? He is.
Yeah, that's his home. Get out of there.
Oh, boy. Fair.
Nice enough to let us go even into his house.
No, but that was our cool shit nature. Not so cool shit this week, but it was cool because it's always cool to talk about. It's good to talk about those things. But I want to get back in here to your numero dos, your number 2. And this one here, it is otters.
It really bugs me that like, yeah, the clarity isn't there, because the only reason I keep harping on that is because a lot of these photos like are full maxed out on my 600 millimeter, and the one in the back, the reason his mouth is like that is because he's chewing on a fish. He like caught a trout while I was there. Like the one.
Hey, didn't you have a picture? Don't you have a picture of him holding a trout?
Yeah, but like I couldn't. I just clicked on one of them randomly because I didn't want to like look through them. But then because I knew we were going to talk about
this is a podcast. It's the listeners.
Yeah,
man.
let me see here.
There's only 2 people that subscribe to the Spotify video, which is out, guys. If you want to check us out on video, you can watch this episode with Jerrod. See his otters and stuff on Spotify video.
That was that one basking.
Oh yeah.
And then
high quality.
So it was just chilling there. And here's the one that has a fish with the fish in its mouth. And like, Yeah, if this would be able to show over Zoom a little bit better, that'd be great. But that's okay that it doesn't. I mean, because it's not like zooming in.
I mean,
My camera's not the best, but
you
still.
did text them to me, and then I downloaded them
Right.
via text, and then I emailed them via text to my email.
Yeah,
So
exactly. So
somewhere
like,
along the way it got compressed. No, I get it. You took
yeah.
these in raw, they're good shots, they're good photos. Go follow him, Downtown Jerrod, on all social medias. Mainly just Instagram. And
Well, I just like wanted
and
to do. I'm just like, well, if no one's even watching this, really, they're not missing out on ton. But I really like
they
just
are.
like,
We got
you know,
YouTube
but
too.
you saw that fish though, right?
Yeah, in his
In his
mouth.
mouth.
I saw the post. I
Yeah,
remember when you posted that photo. That's what I'm
I
saying.
know,
Go
but right here
follow.
when I showed on my phone.
Yeah, I said go follow Downtown Jared.
It-
Go see it. Go see it live. Go give him the likes.
yeah, but those guys were like hanging out, and that's the thing about these ones is like otters. Oh, I have been. We saw them one day when I was with you, and I tried. That's when Instagram was messing up. I tried like switching the camera around and it just stopped filming instead of switching the camera around, and it messed up that whole time during that day. And I tried to like get a picture of the otters, and they were gone. And then that was it. That was at the confluence of Soda Butte and the Lamar River.
Yeah.
This, and that's where like you can mainly watch for him. And the only reason I know that is because that dude Josh that I met,
Right.
he's a student at MSU, and did like a little video documentary thing on him. So he was there like every day sitting at the same spot at the confluence. Once the snow started to melt a little bit over at the confluence, there was still some snow just downriver a little bit. And that's where these guys were. I was just driving along. Holy shit, I see otters on there. I jump out. I just saw the one, then would see that second one come up, hung out a little bit, went back down, got that fish, and then ate it, then went down, came back up with the fish again. But like I couldn't get pictures of the second one, but it's still pretty cool. And then they both dipped out. But like it was such a long time since we had seen those otters.
It's a good feeling.
And then I was like, I just want to see otters again. Just want to see otters again.
Yeah, I know. You were
And that's
saying it for a
like,
while. Yeah.
all the time. Yeah. Every
Yeah.
time we were like, they're otters, like fuck. And yeah, finally it was like, yeah, I gotta see them again. And like no less to see one of them like enjoying a meal, like after a successful like little hunt of a fish. Like that's so cool.
I would be down to go sit with you in one of these spots, because there's another spot where that one guy that one morning by that construction
Yeah.
just posted up. I'd be down to just take a winter day and just say, get your fucking Carhartts on, get your snow pants on, and
Yeah.
we'll
Bring the jet boil.
Exactly.
We'll cook up some mope and hot sweet pork and rice lunch.
Yeah.
We all know that you're going for that sweet pork one. That's shit's good.
It's the best one I've ever found. Best food. It's the peak fuels, guys. Best pre-cooked meal, whatever you use with boiling water, cook it up, go. It's the sweet pork and rice. Oh, it's banger, because they have the brown cinnamon sugar in there too, which good. Did I tell you about the otters I saw up in Sealy this last go around?
Nope.
So
because you're rude and you knew that I'd like that and you didn't want to tell me for some reason.
I thought I may have, but you see, I tell a lot of stories of the same people twice. So
that's true. I've had to stop you multiple times and be like, oh yeah, I know you told me this. Oh right.
Yeah. So Mia too, my wife. And my dad and my mom and Josh and Tyler. Yeah, everybody. Okay. So we're up at Sealy, me, Josh, Santina. And it was the day. So we stayed that extra day. And it was later in the day. It was a nicer day. It wasn't rainy that day. Didn't catch any fish that day. But I was on the kayak right there. So the two beaver lodges, the beaver dams on Sealy?
Yep.
The one closer to the boat ramp.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sitting there kind of by that on my kayak, and I'm like, what the fuck's that? Oh, look, the beavers are out, thinking it was beavers. 6 otters get out and they climb around the like beaver dam. Like they're just like, it's basically like just what you think an otter, how he would inspect and check out a beaver dam, just what you think, like how curious and just how they move. You're like, oh, what's this? Like very aggressive.
Yeah.
And then they jump back in.
Dude, you're scoping it out. They're about to have turf war with the beavers.
I thought so. No, I really thought so.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Yeah. Ooh, knock knock. Like knocking on the wood. Guess who's here? Oh fuck. No, but like so then I was like, because I thought they were beavers at first, and then they got up and I'm like yelling to Josh, I'm like, Josh, otters, like try not to like scare them. And they just stayed in the lily pads all along that camp. And then right where they got to that swim area, they dipped down and went under that. And I saw them pop up by like the lily pads over that way. And I was like, I'm not going to go all that way. But they just like basically just ran that shoreline.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I love otters.
Yeah.
God, this one lady's got attacked by otters.
Yeah. Like the black or over by Bozeman. Yeah. Like Jefferson River or whatever. Yeah. By Enos.
Yeah. They got like river otters just squared up and fucking bit him up and scratched him and shit. Nuts.
Fucking wild. Fucking wild.
Well, yeah, because that was like, have you ever watched
the video? Look it up. It's in like Japan or China or something. It's this.
Oh,
it's like a turf
war.
They
like, yeah,
which is like two waves of them just coming at each
of
other.
Like otters. Yeah, like different clans. It's brutal, dude.
But it's funny how many of them jump out of the water to like watch, because it's like that's somewhere deep down they're just the shit talkers of the otter community that are just like, fuck you, motherfucker. The cornerbacks, the DBs, the wide receivers. And they're not actually going to fight and get physical. They're going to jump out of the water and get like, hey, what do you want? What do you want? No. But we saved the best for last. Again, bears again. And
oh yeah.
Take it away.
Gosh dang. All right, I'm gonna set the stage for this one. Ready? I'm gonna tell you the how I got this opportunity. Heard through the social groups and the
grapevine. Pages. They call that the grapevine.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard through the grapevine and through that guy Josh about a grizzly feeding on a bison carcass. This was in March. And I was like, oh shit, and they were like, yeah, it's been there every morning. So like, all right, I'm gonna do this. And so I found out where it was. It was at the Blacktail Pond, and there's a little pullout, but you're sitting above this like drop off, and then Blacktail Pond is below you, and that pullout can fit maybe 6 cars, 7 cars. Like it's very small. And so what I did was I woke up at 2 a.m. Went and like showered and stuff. I didn't have to wake up at 2, like just to get down there. But I knew it was like, damn it, the gas stations from here towards the park aren't going to be open. I got to go all the way to Livingston, got to hit that town pump. So I know I'm going to be there from like 3 a.m. or whatever to like at least 8 when stuff opens up, and then I can get like a drink or something at one of the convenience stores at the park, or maybe they open at 7, but I knew I had some hours. So what I did was drove all the way up to Livingston, filled up the Jeep, got some drinks, a couple snacks, and then I went and headed down into the park, went through, Mammoth and everything. So I knew that was going to add about an hour. So I basically could have got up at like 3, but I headed into the park and drove and got there probably about 5-ish, I want to say. And there was already a couple cars there, and I picked my spot. And then, but the shitty thing is, like, some people were parking diagonally, and then some people started parking straight, and I ended up like being in the middle of like, which one am I going to choose?
How am I not going to get dinged here?
Yeah, exactly, type of thing. So like I'm sitting there just waiting for sunrise because it's taken like for like I got there early. But as that sunrise got closer and closer, holy shit, did that place start filling up. And then I had this one dude that was like, I was sitting there like in front of my Jeep with and he's like, hey, do you drive this Jeep? And I was like, yeah, what's up? And he's like, I think I could fit right here. And so it was that one that was like diagonally, and that was actually on this side. I had parked kind of like straight, and there was another car right here, but I had a little bit of a gap because one couldn't fit here, except some dude squeezed in his car because it was really small right here. And so he was kind of close to me, bigger space, but not big enough for a car. And then the other car like parked. And so that dude comes up to me, hey, is this here? And can you scoot this over a little bit so I can fit my my like Colorado or whatever, like little truck in there? Or was it Tacoma, I think? And I'm just like, like, sure, man. So I had to go tell the dude in the little car, I was like, dude, I'm gonna get right on your car so this guy can fit in here. Is that all right with you? He's like, that's fine. I'm gonna go over there and take pictures. I was like, sounds good. So I scoot over. He backed in his truck and then put down the tailgate and was like, hey, you can stand in my truck if you want. That way I'm not on this snow. But the only problem is I wanted to take a video, and like his truck bed, if you're going to take a picture from something, don't do it from a truck bed. Don't do it from that. Take it from the ground. You know why? The suspension on the truck where you'll pick up any little movement. And that's what happened. And it was too late to like switch. So I got some like decent stills. But yeah, it was the sunrise happened maybe at like 6:40, 6:50 or something like that, when we started getting like these kind of good pictures. And like you can just see the like snow still on his like fur. I have some of him like walking away, but he was there when it was like dark because everyone's like, oh, he's there. But I couldn't obviously get a picture. It's way too dark out. Then as the sun kind of come up, it was like, where is he? Because like sagebrush looks the same, you know, before the sun's up. So kept like, where is he? Where? And then finally that sun, it was just pre-dawn, and it was like, holy shit, there he is. And then you kind of get your camera and stuff set up, and it was really cool to watch this. I mean, obviously
we tried to go like the next weekend, but like you said, the guy you were talking to was like literally the day before was like, yeah, he like because he said he would walk up into like the hill right there, and it's like that was the only day he crossed the road and like went somewhere else, and you're like, oh yeah, he's not coming back when you hear that.
Yeah, exactly. And like the day after I had gone was that day that he had that encounter. The wolves came, and then we're trying to like take it from him.
You can
like
see some of those pictures on social media. I swear to God, like
the videos. There was a video of one of like this wolf like bouncing around it, like hey, give me a piece of that. Hey, you know, like a dog, honestly. But yeah,
like a dog. Oh no.
Yeah. But yeah, it was really cool to watch him just like sit there and just use those claws to just start ripping away ice, ripping like on the other side, because he like ended up getting, you know, around it and stuff like that. But yeah,
just because he like stored it, right? Like he stored this bison into the ice and like would flip like and then, like, he flipped this over to like get into the meat. Like they eat it in an interesting way.
Yeah, it's just, and it was so cool to watch this big pudgy grizzly, and just think that's him when he's at his leanest.
Dude, he's huge.
Yeah,
like right now, like when, because I just saw or whatever is going on is that Fat Bear Week. Like they're like, get ready, it's coming this year, like it's soon, and like put this guy in the competition.
Like, no shit. This guy, like for Yellowstone, he's huge. I mean, like obviously the ones up in Alaska get way bigger because they're eating nothing but protein instead of like having that, like exactly. It's so easily accessible that they don't have to expend a ton of energy. Like it's hard. You know, like
this guy's huge.
But that's at his leanest, and that's like that's so amazing.
What's he look like in November?
The coolest fucking experience to me that I've had in Yellowstone so far. And the best part, the most that I like about it, is how much work I even had to put in to like do this, you know? Which I just like, it made it that better. Like a lot of these, the otter, the rest of these are just something that we happened upon. you know?
Right.
And this
No.
was like okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna prep, I'm gonna, and it just like it was a totally surreal experience, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to match it. It's super cool. It was awesome.
Yeah. No, especially because I mean, you might be able to match it in the sense of like, oh, there's another bear feeding on this. Like I'm gonna relive, an early morning experience like that. But like you're saying, yeah, that like to do it for the first time, to buckle
Yep.
down, to see it, to just be there and do it by yourself too. You went by yourself. So
Yep.
like
Yep.
that's another element of that helps. Like you're just like, oh shit, like what did I go through? Which
Yeah.
is cool. I mean, it's that's what's cool about Yellowstone in reality too.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to do much in the sense of like get off the beaten trail. Fuck, one of them is on the trail. The bison
Right.
sitting on the
On the
road.
road.
Yeah. But like
Honestly, none of these were off the beaten trail. They were all, yeah, this is at a parking spot right off the road. Otters were off at a parking spot off the road. The
it's almost
otters
like
were at
they
the
put
same,
those there for a reason.
right?
People kept pulling out.
The bison were at a pullout. That the cinnamon black bear was not at a pullout. I had uh mom and dad and Kayla stayed in the car and drove up the road, like kind of creeping along
Oh, on
because
the
it like bear
petrified
was
tree.
going to
Yeah.
be a bear grab. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But I hopped out and was like on the grass because that was also like this huge embankment. So like definitely far enough away from the fucking animals, people. Like, yeah, stay away. I was able to still get like that, but yeah. And then what was the first one? Oh, those coyotes. That was literally on the road as well. Like they were on a hill
Yeah.
and we were on the road. Like,
But we're
so
wild. It's so wild. Like where we were
yeah,
on the road and we were standing on my roof, like parked
yeah,
on the road, taking
hmm
pictures of that. So
yeah.
no,
Because there
it
was no
was
one, like hardly anyone around.
yeah.
You know.
No, and like when the car they just drove around us. Like I think the two that passed us or whatever it was. But
Yep.
no,
Yep.
Yellowstone's great, man. It's always a good time. It's always a fun time, a great time to be in
Yeah,
the
that was my
park.
top five.
That was a good top
Top
five. I
I
liked it.
I have other eagle. I have some eagles. I have some fucking bighorn. I got some other yotes eating on this elk. Actually, it's one yote, but still, like other pictures. But
We need to go up to the canyon. When you said Bighorn, we need to go up to the Bighorn Canyon and get some fucking dope pictures, like some sunset shots of that canyon, that red rock.
oh yeah,
That'd be cool.
yeah.
So I mean, we kind of ran our course today with your top five. I mean, there's no negatives, there's no zeros, there's none of that. But the last kind of thing we have for our viewers, our wanderers, the Wandering Ways crew is our final words. And you can say whatever you want, hype up whatever you want. You could promote brands that you've never heard of before. You could sing a song, you could do a rap,
Oh
whatever
boy,
you
can I?
appreciate. Yeah, whatever you want.
Hard
The
pass.
floor is yours.
Um, Final words would be stay on the fucking boardwalks and stay away from the wild animals. That's it. View from a safe distance. Those are my final words because I think that fits today. I don't need to be mixing it up with any other things that I might be thinking of. We're going to keep it on that top five, lock it in. You can obey the rules. That's all you got to do.
I love it. No, Mark's a big rules guy. I'm 50-50. And so we don't know. We don't know what side of the rule I'm going to fall on. No, I'm just kidding. But no, definitely give your distance between these animals. They are wild. This isn't no zoo. Heck, they had to put Harambe down after what he did. That's how crazy we got. So that was a zoo. So think about what you got to do in these parks. Be smart. Be the bigger person. Get between. Be just safe. Don't be that guy. Don't be the Turon, as they say. I like that.
Exactly.
Find your top five too. That's another thing I want to point out to the wanderers, because that top five changes. Because like, watch, I asked Jerrod here in a couple of years, he's got five different photos for us. Maybe that bear is coming back, but he's going to have five different photos, be like, oh, this is my new top 5. I saw a kangaroo in Yellowstone Park. And you're like, dude, kangaroo. Yeah, it was some weird dude had it in the back of his truck and wasn't supposed to be there. I happened to be there. And because I had to tow him out of the ditch because he got stuck in the ditch. You're like, what are you getting involved in? No, it's good. It's good. And it's good to hear. It's good to talk about. Definitely shoot wanderingwayspodcast@gmail.com, an email if you have any questions about Yellowstone Park. Listen to all the wonderful episodes we have about the parks as well as Yellowstone, and stay tuned for the next one. Until next week, everybody. Bye.
Yeah. If you have any questions or anything, you know what? Send them. He's going to start sharing stuff from listeners like you. So send in your questions, send in your pictures from Yellowstone, send in your other wandering pictures. He'll start sharing it. It's called engaging with your community. That's what he's going to do. Out.
Bye.